Hey, little dreamers, and welcome to my cozy corner of YouTube. Every night, I'm here to guide you gently into dreamland with soft stories, magical worlds, and voices that whisper like bedtime hugs. So get comfy, snuggle up tight, and let these gentle fairy tales carry you far, far away, where forests hum lullabies and stars wait just for you. Sleep is just a story away. Story 46, the song that stitched the sky, inspired by celestial myths, weaving goddesses, and the soft magic of lullabies. Hey, little dreamer, tonight we're going somewhere magical. The sky has a seam. You've never noticed it before. Most people don't. It runs from the edge of one horizon to the next. Not quite a crack, not quite a thread, just a shimmer where the stars seem to tremble. You see it tonight because you're listening, not with your ears exactly, but with your wonder. It starts with a sound, faint as a breath on glass. A single note, then another, like someone tuning a harp made of spider silk. You sit by the window, and there, high above the rooftops, you see her, a woman walking the sky. She steps from star to star like stones in a stream. Her gown ripples behind her, long as a galaxy. She hums softly, gathering frayed pieces of night in her hands, then threading them through a glowing spindle at her hip. You blink, and suddenly, she's closer, not towering, just present. She stands in your room as if she's always been there, moonlight woven into her braids, her voice the hush of falling snow. "Would you like to help me mend the sky?" she asks. You nod, heart fluttering. She opens a pocket of her cloak and draws out a needle carved from starlight and memory. It only stitches what is sung. You hold the needle, and the room melts away. You stand at the base of a sky ladder, each rung a whisper, each step a note. You climb, humming gently, not a song you know, but one you feel. It builds as you rise, stitched from your breath, your hope, your softness. At the top is the seam, frayed, fragile. It shivers in the wind. The sky stitcher waits beside you. Each tear in the sky is made by forgetting, she says, forgetting wonder, forgetting kindness, forgetting that we're all made from stories. She gestures to the torn thread, but stitched with care, the sky remembers again. You press the needle to the edge. It glows. You begin to hum. As you stitch, pieces of the sky come back to life. With every pull of the thread, you see a forgotten moment. A child sharing a blanket with their sibling in a thunderstorm. An old man teaching his granddaughter to whistle with a blade of grass. A dancer spinning in the rain alone, but smiling. Each stitch is a note. Each note is a memory. Each memory a light. You hum them all back into the sky. Sometimes the song falters. You hesitate. The needle dims. The sky stitcher places her hand over yours. "Some threads are harder," she says. "They carry the weight of what we almost lost." But don't stop singing. Even soft songs mend strong things. You nod and continue. You pass constellations resting in baskets. You patch a hole shaped like a broken promise. You mend a tear where a shooting star once crashed, and from the thread grows a new one, bright, shy, ready to fall again when the world is watching. You stitch until your fingers glow, until the seam is no longer a wound, but a path, a melody that spans the sky. You take a final breath, sing the last note, the sky exhales, and it is whole. The sky stitcher lowers you gently back to your room. She tucks the needle into your pillow. "It will stay with you," she says, "until you need to remember again." You look up. The sky is seamless now. But if you listen closely, you can still hear the thread hum. And every time someone hums before sleep, another stitch strengthens. You curl beneath your blanket. The stars blink slowly above, and somewhere in the silence, a new song begins. Yours, soft, bright, still stitching. Story 47, the library that only opens in dreams, inspired by dream journeys, forgotten knowledge, and the hush of pages turning in moonlight. Hey, little dreamer, tonight, we're going somewhere magical. You fall asleep with a book on your chest. Not just any book, your favorite, the one with the soft corners, the pages that smell like a rainy afternoon, and a cover that feels like it remembers your hands. But when you drift into dreams tonight, the story changes. You wake not in your bed, but at a gate made of paper. It stands at the edge of a quiet lake under a sky lit by 3 moons and a breeze that smells like ink and peppermint. A soft voice speaks from behind the gate. Do you wish to enter? You nod. The gate folds open like the cover of a book, and you step inside. It's a library, but not like any you've seen before. The shelves float. The books hum. Some are as small as ladybugs, others as tall as doors. Some glow with light, others with memory. A lantern shaped like a teacup bobs beside you, casting soft golden light. Welcome to the library of dream things, says a figure in a cloak of feathers and paragraphs. We are the keepers. You look closer. The figure's face is made of sentences shifting and rearranging every time you blink. What kind of library is this, you ask? Not every book is written, they say. Some are only imagined, dreamed, forgotten before morning. We keep them safe. They gesture for you to follow. You walk between shelves of wonder, a book that tells only stories you've forgotten. A map of all the imaginary places children have whispered into their pillows. A volume bound in sea foam titled The Sound of a Memory That Was Never Yours. Can I read one, you ask? The keeper smiles. You may write one. You're led to a small alcove with a desk made of moonstone. There's a blank book waiting for you, but not made of paper, made of dream stuff. Soft, glowing, warm. A quill floats beside it. Write not with your hand, the keeper says, but with your heart. You close your eyes and begin. At first, it's simple. You think of your favorite feeling, laughter so strong it makes your eyes water, and it pours onto the page like golden syrup. Then you remember a tree. You once climbed the rough bark, the wobbly branch, the view that made your chest feel big and small at the same time. It flows into the book, then a hope, then a secret, then a wish you didn't even know you still carry. Each one writes itself softly like a lullaby on parchment. When you finish, the book closes itself, and the cover bears a title, The Night I Remembered Myself. You hand it to the keeper. They press it to their chest. It is safe now. You nod, but before you go, one last thing. You ask, can I borrow one? The keeper gestures to a staircase of spiral text that leads upward. At the top, you'll find what is waiting. You climb. The stairs are made of letters. Each step spells a word. As you walk, they rearrange kindness, courage, wonder. At the top is a door shaped like a question mark. You knock. It melts open. Inside is a room full of light and silence. One book waits on a pedestal. Its cover reads, The You That You Haven't Met Yet. You open it, and you see glimpses, a moment where you choose gentleness instead of fear. A day you create something beautiful and share it even if you're nervous. A night you feel afraid, but still sleep peacefully. because you trust yourself. The pages glow, and then you feel full, whole, ready. The keeper appears beside you once more. "Time to return," they whisper. You close the book. The library begins to blur. You wake in your bed. The book from earlier still rests on your chest, but something has changed. It feels warmer, and tucked beside your pillow is a bookmark made of starlight. On it in small looping letters, "The library is always here. Just close your eyes and turn the page." Story 48, The Girl Who Painted the Wind, inspired by invisible wonders, quiet courage, and the colors of imagination. Hey, little dreamer, tonight, we're going somewhere magical. The wind has always whispered to you, not in words, not in secrets, but in colors. You never told anyone, not really. Who would believe that a breeze could feel blue, or that a gust could shimmer gold before a storm? But you've always known. Because when the wind moves, something inside you stirs like a paintbrush waiting in your chest. And tonight, the wind calls louder than ever. It taps your window with invisible fingers. You open it, and a swirl of air, soft and bright, dances into your room. It doesn't mess up your papers or rattle your books. It just waits. You understand. You grab your sketch pad, your brushes, your colors, not just the ones in jars, but the ones only you can see. Then you step outside. The world is hushed, not asleep watching. The moon rests low, round, and gentle. The trees tilt slightly as if leaning in, and the wind begins to move. You follow. It doesn't rush. It invites. Down the hill, past the sleeping fields, through the gate that's always been stuck, except tonight it opens. The path leads you to a meadow, lit by starlight and soft echoes. In the center stands an easel, not yours, older, taller, made of something that shimmers like time. The wind curls around it, waiting. You place your sketch pad there. The page turns blank no matter how many times you try. But the wind nudges your brush, and you begin. At first, nothing happens, just a swirl. Then faintly, the paper pulls, like it's breathing. The brush moves. You don't think you feel. Each stroke of color lands not in the page, but in the air. The sky responds. Your golden swish becomes a sunrise ripple. Your silver line echoes in the clouds. You paint with blues that carry whispers, greens that soften thorns, reds that remember laughter. The more you paint, the more the wind shifts, not wild, but wrapped in color. A dance of breeze and brush, then a pause. A gust stirs beside you. You turn. She stands there, a girl about your age with curls like tangled vines and hands stained in old paints. Her eyes match the night, not dark, but deep. "You hear it too," she says. You nod. "I used to paint the wind," she adds, "before it faded." "Why did it stop, you ask?" She shrugs. People stop seeing, not the sky, the space between. She hands you a brush made of feather and thread. "I've been waiting for someone to feel it again." You take it, and the wind brightens. Together you paint, not to show, not to keep, just to understand. You swirl a melody that tastes like peaches and rain. She paints a laugh that belongs to no one and everyone. You blend your brushes, and the sky responds with glimmers, ribbons of light you can't name, but somehow remember. The meadow hums, the trees breathe, the wind wraps gently around your wrists, your ankles, your heart, and for a moment, everything feels whole, not perfect, just true. When the sun begins to blush on the edge of the sky, the girl places her brush in your hand. "I don't need it anymore," she says. But you might. You hesitate. But what if I forget? She smiles. You won't. The wind remembers. Then she lifts her arms, becomes a swirl of starlight and pigment, and fades. You wake in your bed. The sketch pad lies on your pillow, still blank. But beside it, a single stroke of color dances in the air, soft and golden. The feathered brush rests in your palm, still warm, and when the breeze slips through the window, it carries your name, not spoken, but painted. Story 49. The lantern that never went out, inspired by hope, gentle guardianship, and the secret flame that lives in every quiet heart. Hey, little dreamer, tonight, we're going somewhere magical. There's a lantern in the attic. You've passed it before, dusty, dented, sitting beside old boxes filled with forgotten mittens and birthday cards. No one mentions it, not because it's scary, just overlooked. But tonight, something nudges you. Not your feet, not your thoughts. Something quieter. You climb the stairs. The attic is still not silent, just resting. You find the lantern and notice it's glowing, not bright, but steady, soft as a lullaby hummed through wool. You reach for it. The moment your fingers brush the handle, everything changes. You are no longer in the attic. You are in a field of night, not darkness night, the kind that holds stars like secrets and hums with the hush of a world not sleeping, just waiting. The lantern floats beside you now. Its flame dances without heat, just glow. And a voice speaks, not loud, not near, just everywhere. Thank you for carrying it. You blink. A figure stands nearby, tall, wearing robes stitched from candlewick and smoke. Their face shifts, sometimes a child, sometimes old, always kind. This lantern was lit when the first child felt afraid of the dark, they say, and it's been carried ever since. You glance down. The lantern's flame flickers gently, not weak, just thoughtful. Does it ever go out, you ask? The figure smiles. Never. But sometimes it's forgotten. They gesture to the horizon where shadows curl like sleeping cats. There are places where fear gathers, not loudly, just long. They hand you the lantern. Would you help me remind the dark that it is not alone? You nod and step forward. The path leads through soft places, a hollow tree filled with unspoken worries, a river made of things left unsaid, a valley where forgotten laughter echoes gently. The lantern glows stronger with each step. It doesn't burn away the shadows, it warms them. When you reach a village where no windows shine, the flame stretches, casting soft halos through the cracks. People stir, not awake, just less afraid. You don't say anything. The light speaks for you. Later, in a grove where even moonlight won't go, you kneel. Place the lantern down. The flame pulses, and the shadows sigh, like they'd been holding their breath too long. The figure returns. They offer you a box. Inside is a smaller lantern shaped like a heart, curled in a hug. For your own dark, they say, because even light bearers need a little glow now and then. You hold it close. It hums. You realize the lantern doesn't push darkness away. It holds space for it, gently, kindly, the way someone might sit beside you when you're sad, saying nothing, just being there. You return to the attic. The old lantern rests on the floor, quiet again. But beside your bed, the heart-shaped one flickers softly. It will stay. It will glow. And when you close your eyes, you feel warm, not because everything is perfect, but because something is present. And that's more than enough. Story 50. The cloud that remembered names, inspired by sky spirits, the magic of being seen, and the names we carry inside. Hey, little dreamer, tonight we're going somewhere magical. You look up at the sky and it looks back, not with eyes, but with knowing. It's sunset, soft oranges, sleepy purples, and the faintest pink, like a smile you almost didn't notice. You lie in the grass watching clouds drift. One looks like a fish, another like a hat. Then you see it, a cloud that pauses. It hovers right above you, not ominous, just curious. And you feel something strange, recognition. Not like you know it, like it knows you. It dips lower, becomes a puff the size of a balloon, then a whisper, then a voice. I've been waiting. You blink, waiting for what? The cloud bobs, for your name. You frown. You mean, I already told you. It shimmers faintly. No, but your name remembers me. And then you understand not with your brain, but your heart. Some names are spoken, others are held. This cloud, it holds them, all the quiet names, the ones not on paper, the ones you feel when you laugh too hard or cry into your pillow, the name you carry when no one's looking. The cloud floats closer. I collect names, it says, not to keep, just to remind. It invites you up, not with hands, with wind. You rise gently, lifted like a kite with no string. The world below becomes a patchwork of dreams. You drift with the cloud across the skies. Below, you see a child standing alone at recess, whispering a song only the sky hears. A grandmother, gazing at the stars, saying a name she hasn't spoken in years. A dancer spinning on a rooftop, their feet saying everything they can't. Each time the cloud shimmers, that's what I carry, it says, not just name selves. You ask, do people forget? The cloud pulses soft and blue. Sometimes, that's why I remember. You reach a sky hollow where the wind hushes. The cloud opens. Inside are ribbons glowing, floating, looping. Each one hums. Each one is a name. Not just Ella or Jamal or Min, but the name someone feels when they help a snail cross the sidewalk. The name that blooms when they finally forgive themselves. The name hidden inside a quiet, I'm okay when they're really not. You have more than one, the cloud says. It shows you yours. One ribbon swirls with laughter, another calm and quiet smells like paper and tea. A third pulses gently soft sadness, honest and whole. They're all you, the cloud whispers, even the ones you thought you lost. You ask, can I take them? The cloud shakes gently. You already do. Every time you smile for no reason, every time you cry at the end of a story, every time you feel more than you can explain. It wraps one ribbon around your wrist, a fourth name. This one glows golden. It hums like safety, like trust. This one, the cloud says, is the name you'll need tomorrow. You nod, not sure why, but grateful. The wind changes. The cloud sighs. Time to return. It lowers you back to the grass. Before it floats away, it adds one final word. Your name. Not out loud, not written, just felt. Perfectly. Truly. You. You wake in your bed. The sky outside your window is soft. Still, one cloud drifts above, shaped like nothing. And everything? You whisper, thank you. And the breeze answers, not with words, but with recognition. Story 51, the echo that grew wings, inspired by mountain winds, hidden voices, and the quiet bravery of being heard. Hey, little dreamer, tonight, we're going somewhere magical. You stand at the edge of a cliff, high above a valley wrapped in morning mist. You've been here before, maybe in dreams, maybe in memory. You don't remember climbing. You don't remember waking. But you're here, and the sky is waiting. You cup your hands to your mouth and call out just to see what happens. Hello. Your voice bounces off the stone, echoes back, softer, wobblier, like a version of yourself that's just waking up. You smile. Echoes are funny like that, like friends who only talk after you've stopped. But this time, something answers that wasn't you. A voice, small, bright, tired. Hello, you blink. Who said that? I did, the voice says. I'm your echo. Or I was. You turn. A shape rises from the mist. It's not quite a person, not quite a shadow. It's a sound, shaped like you made of wind and whispers and all the words you've ever said when you thought no one was listening. It hovers nearby. Shy. I've been with you a long time, it says. You frown. Then why haven't I heard you? It shrugs. If an echo can shrug. You were speaking. I was waiting. The echo leads you along the cliff path. Each step hums. You realize the stones echo too, but not just sounds. Feelings. Here a pebble sighs with a forgotten giggle. There a boulder hums with the memory of a bedtime story told long ago. This mountain holds all our echoes, your echo says, but sometimes echoes get lost. You pause. Can echoes disappear? Your echo nods. They fade if no one listens. A hush settles. Then it adds, but sometimes they change instead. Into what wings? At the summit, you find a nest, not of twigs, of echoes. Words spun together. I'm proud of you, I'm scared. Please stay. You matter. They pulse, like eggs, ready to hatch. Your echo touches one gently. This one's yours. You kneel, whisper softly. I'm listening. The egg cracks. A small creature unfurls, part bird, part breeze. It blinks at you, then sings in your voice. But not the voice you use when you try to sound brave. The one you use when you talk to the moon, or to a cat, or to your heart. Honest. Whole. It flaps once, then again, and flies. Your echo watches. That was part of you, it says. It needed air. You ask, do I have more? The echo smiles. Only one way to know. You return to the cliff's edge. Close your eyes and speak. Not loud, not strong, just true. You tell the mountain that you're tired sometimes, that you try hard to be kind even when it's hard, that you miss someone even if you don't say it. The wind gathers your words, carries them up, down, around, then returns, not with the same words, but with wings, dozens of them, some small, some wide, all shimmering with pieces of you. They don't ask anything, they just fly. And you feel lighter. Your echo stands beside you, but now it hums, not alone, with you. You don't need me as much, it says. You shake your head. I still want you. It smiles, then steps inside, not into your body, into your voice. Now when you speak, even softly, it carries, because your words have wings now, and wings go places. You wake to the sound of wind outside your window, but it doesn't howl, it sings. You hum back, and somewhere over the mountains, something hums in return. Story 52. The clockmaker who measured dreams. Inspired by ticking stars, sleepy towns, and the gentle rhythm of dreaming. Hey, little dreamer, tonight we're going somewhere magical. The town you find yourself in is very small. So small, in fact, that the streets only appear after sunset. By day, it's just a meadow. By night, a town of soft lanterns, cobbled hushes, and winding walks that never go quite the same way twice. At its center stands a curious shop. The sign reads, Horatius Pin and the dream clocks. Its windows tick, not from watches or gears, from dreams. Soft ticking, slow breathing, sleepy sound. You enter. Inside every wall is covered in clocks, some with one hand, some with none, some that float. And each one ticks not with seconds, but with sighs. The man behind the counter looks like he hasn't rushed in 100 years. He wears glasses shaped like moons and suspenders made from stitched lullabies. You're just in time, he says, without looking at the hour. Time for what? For your dream to be measured. You blink. You can measure dreams. He nods, but not like rulers, not with numbers, with quiet. He lifts a clock from the wall. It's round, wooden. Still, this one belonged to someone who dreamed of learning to forgive. He winds it once. It ticks, not loudly, just enough. He hands you a tiny vial filled with what looks like stardust. Here, he says, hold this while you remember something soft. You close your eyes. Think of a dog's snore against your shoulder, the way your blanket feels after it's been in the sun, that one time you laughed so hard you forgot why. The vial warms, the dust glows, the clockmaker smiles. A dream is forming. He sets a clock beside it. It begins to tick, not fast, not slow, just right. You ask, why clocks? He gestures to the hundreds on the walls, because dreams aren't made of hours. They're made of when you're brave, when you're honest, when you rest. He leads you to a staircase that spirals inward. At the center, he says, we keep the great dream. You follow. Below the shop is a room filled with time, not time like calendars, time like moments wrapped in silk. Each one floats in a bubble, a baby's first giggle, a goodbye whispered into a scarf, a night someone decided to be kind just because. They hum gently. The clockmaker shows you a bubble. It's yours. It holds a dream you don't quite remember, something about swimming in the sky and hugging a comet. He places it in a tiny clock. It begins to purr. That means it's still happening, he says. In my sleep, in your heart. Before you leave, he gives you a gift. A pocket watch. It has no hands, only a little window that reads one word at a time. Right now it says resting. You tuck it into your pocket. It feels like a lullaby curled up small. You return to your room. But the town is gone. The clocks are quiet. Only the ticking inside you remains, not urgent, not loud, just enough to remind you time doesn't measure dreams. Dreams shape time. And tonight, time is yours. Story 53. The rain that learned to sing, inspired by weather spirits, gentle voices, and the music that lives in silence. Hey, little dreamer, tonight we're going somewhere magical. It begins with a single raindrop, just one. It lands on your window like a soft knock, not urgent, not loud, just curious. Then another, and another. You close your eyes and listen. But this time, the rain doesn't patter. It hums, not music you know, not a song from a radio. Something older, gentler, like a tune the sky has been holding in its heart for a long, long time. You slip out of bed and open the window. The rain leans in and sings. You don't understand the words because there aren't any. It sings in colors, in memories, in feelings you forgot you remembered, and then you hear a voice, small, high, hopeful. I'm trying. You blink. Standing in the rain is a girl made of mist and droplets. She looks a little like you, but her eyes are wider, her hair is silver water, and her voice like the first note of a lullaby. I'm the rain, she says. At least, I'm trying to be. You tilt your head. I thought rain just was. She shakes hers. Not always. Rain needs rhythm, breath, kindness. I've always been water, but I want to be more. You nod and step outside. The world is soft, not wet, welcoming. Grass shivers, leaves sigh. The rain girl reaches for your hand. Will you help me find my voice? You smile and say yes. She leads you through the silver woods, where each leaf catches a note, where puddles ripple like piano keys. You practice together. You clap a rhythm on your knees. She mirrors it in drizzle. You hum a melody. She tries to echo it in thunder, but it comes out as a hiccup. You both laugh. The rain hiccups too. Too much, she asks. You grin. Just enough. At the edge of a hill, you find a stone shaped like a question. The rain girl climbs atop it, closes her eyes, and listens. The whole sky hushes. She opens her mouth, and this time, she sings. The sound is round and clear, like a drop falling into the center of your chest. It glows, the clouds dance, the wind hums, and the trees tap tiny rhythms with their branches. You realize she found it, not in thunder, not in storm, but in your company, your quiet, your presence. She floats toward you, places a droplet in your palm. It shimmers. This is for when you need to remember your own rhythm. You nod. Close your fingers around it. It stays warm, even in the rain. She begins to fade, not disappear, just blend into the drizzle, the mist, the hush. I'll sing for you now, she says. Whenever the rain feels soft. That's me. Still learning, still singing. You return to your bed. The rain continues, but it sounds different now. Like a lullaby you helped write. No words, just knowing. And when you sleep, you dream in hums. Story 5th Hour, The Orchard, where wishes grew inspired by wish trees, forgotten hopes, and the quiet magic of tending dreams. Hey, little dreamer, tonight, we're going somewhere magical. You walk along a path made of scattered petals. They don't fall from above, they rise from below. Soft pinks, velvety whites, leaves that smell like honey and memory. Ahead, you see a gate. It's not locked. It doesn't creak. It simply opens when you arrive. And behind it, an orchard. But not like any orchard you've seen. These trees don't grow apples or pears. They grow wishes. Each tree holds glowing fruit, tiny orbs that shimmer in different colors. Some pulse like a heartbeat, some flicker like starlight, and some barely glow at all. You step inside. The grass whispers beneath your feet. A figure waits beneath the largest tree. Their robe is stitched from sunbeams and threads of dandelion fluff. Their hands are calloused, but gentle. They are the orchard keeper, and they smile when they see you. Welcome, they say. Another tender of wishes. You tilt your head. I've never been here before, not in body, they say. But your heart has visited often. They hand you a small basket. Inside is a single glowing fruit, round golden and humming with a quiet kind of hope. This one is yours, they say, from long ago. You hold it. It feels like possibility. You walk among the trees. Each wish has a tag tied to it, not with a name, but with a feeling. Be brave. Come home. Let go. Try again. Some hang low, ready to be picked. Others stay high, waiting for the right hands. The keeper explains wishes grow slowly. Some blossom quickly, others take years, but all of them need tending. You ask, what happens if they're forgotten? The keeper kneels beside a tree with dim fruit. They sleep until someone remembers. You reach up, touch one. It flickers and sighs. You spend the day or night or maybe something in between walking the rows. You sing to some trees, whisper to others, water a few with your tears, not sad, just soft. Each act of care brightens the fruit. Each kind thought helps a branch live. You find a tree whose fruit is cold, no glow. Its tag reads, "Please forgive me." You rest your forehead against its bark and listen, not to words, to longing, to love, to the wish buried so deep it almost forgot it was want. You sit beside it for a while, just being there, and slowly a single leaf unfurls. The keeper joins you. They place a hand on your shoulder. "You're good at this." You smile. "I didn't know I could be." They nod. "Most people don't." They lead you to a hill at the far edge. There stands a tree unlike the others. It's empty, no fruit, no leaves, just a trunk, and a tag that reads, "Yet to be." This is yours, they say. You blink, but it's not growing. The keeper hands you a seed, small, pale, warm. "It will," they whisper. When you plant it with care, not pressure, you kneel, place it in the earth, cover it, and hum. The wind wraps around you like a hug. The grass leans in. The sky above hums softly, and the seed stirs. Not fast, not grand, but enough. A sprout, a curl, a beginning. You'll visit again. Tend it, water it, whisper to it on the days you forget how to believe in yourself. The keeper hands you a pouch. Inside, you'll find memory, they say, enough to remember how it felt to care. You thank them and walk back through the gate. You wake in your bed. Beside your pillow is a petal, soft pink, still glowing. You place it in your hand. It hums with promise. And tonight, when you close your eyes again, you whisper a wish, then smile, because now you know where it goes. Story 55, The Mirror That Reflected Feelings Inspired by Self-Discovery, Quiet Honesty, and the magic of being seen as you truly are. Hey, little dreamer, tonight, we're going somewhere magical. It starts with a mirror, not the one above the sink, not the one on your closet door. This one appears when the room is quiet enough to hear your heartbeat, when the only light comes from the moon. It's oval, framed in branches, leaves curled gently around its edges. It doesn't reflect your face. Not at first. It reflects your feelings. You step closer and it begins. At first it shows your smile, not the one you give for photos, the soft one, the one that appears when you hear your favorite part of a song. Then it changes. You see your frown, but not angry, just thoughtful. The kind that comes when you miss someone and don't quite know why. Then you see something harder, a curl of worry, a shadow of self-doubt. The mirror doesn't judge, it understands, and you do too. You whisper, "That's me." The mirror glows, not with light, with truth. A voice hums behind you. You're ready. You turn. A person stands there, not quite grown, not quite child. Their hair shimmers with starlight. Their eyes hold every emotion you've ever had and all the ones still on their way. They smile. "I'm the keeper of the mirror," they say, "and I've been waiting for you." You ask, "What is this place?" They lead you through a curtain of silk to see yourself. Not how the world sees you, not how you try to be, just how you are. You enter a room of reflections. Each mirror is different. One is shaped like a raindrop, another like a kite, another like a question. Each one shows a version of you, the you that forgave even when it was hard, the you that danced when no one watched, the you that wished someone would ask, "Are you okay?" and meant it. You take a breath. Each image is honest. None are scary. Even the ones that show your sadness shimmer gently, like sadness that's been heard. The keeper hands you a small hand mirror. Its glass is quiet. You can carry this, they say, but only if you promise one thing. You nod. Be kind, even to the parts you don't always like, especially to them. You hold it. It warms in your hand, not hot, just steady. Before you go, they lead you to one last mirror. It's larger than the rest, round, still. It shows not one version of you, but all of them layered gently, brave, shy, curious, tired, joyful, unsure, hopeful. You don't have to choose just one, the keeper says. They're all you, and they're all beautiful. You return to your room. The moonlight glows softer now. The mirror is gone. But beside your bed is the small one, the hand mirror. You hold it up and see not just your face. You see everything you carry and everything you're becoming. You smile, and this time it feels like all of you is smiling back. Story 56, The Lighthouse That Waited for One Star. Inspired by longing, soft patience, and the quiet strength of guiding light. Hey, little dreamer, tonight, we're going somewhere magical. There is a lighthouse that doesn't shine for ships. It doesn't spin or flash or warn of rocks. It waits, quietly, always looking up. You find it on a hill where the sea hums stories and the wind knows your name. It's not tall, it's steady, built of stone and moonlight. Its door is open. So you step inside. Dust dances in sunbeams that shouldn't be there. The clouds have tucked the sun away, but the light still finds its way. A spiral staircase winds up, and you follow it. Each step feels soft, like walking through a memory. At the top, there's a room filled with maps, but not maps of land, maps of sky. Each one shows stars, some real, some remembered, some not yet born. In the middle of the room sits the lighthouse keeper, old, young, hard to say. Their coat is stitched with constellations. Their eyes shine like the inside of seashells. They smile when they see you. I've been waiting, they say, for what you ask, for you, for a light seeker. They hand you a notebook. Its pages are blank except for one, a star, drawn in gold. This star doesn't have a name, they explain, because no one's seen it yet. You tilt your head, but it's right here. They nod. You see it, but the sky doesn't. They lead you to the window and point. There, you see nothing, just clouds. But something in your chest says otherwise. You believe in it, the keeper says. That's how it begins. The lighthouse hasn't lit its lamp in years, not because it's broken, because it wasn't needed. But tonight, it hums. You place your hands on the railing. The lamp flickers, flares, glows, and the clouds part. Just a little, just enough. And there, faint, shy, lovely, a single star, blinking, hopeful. The keeper nods. She waited, they whisper, because she needed someone to see her before she could shine. You watch as the light grows, not huge, not dazzling, just true, like a whisper that finally got to be spoken. And something inside you, maybe your own little star, warms. You spend the night in the lighthouse, drawing more stars, listening to the sea, reading sky maps made by people who dared to imagine light where there was none. The keeper teaches you the names of the constellations you can't yet see. Names make room, they say, room for becoming. Before you leave, they give you a tiny jar. Inside is a flicker of starlight. Keep it for the nights you forget what you're looking for. You walk back down the spiral staircase. The wind doesn't push, it carries. And when you reach your bed, there's a soft glow at the window. not the moon, not a lamp, the star. She found her place, and she shines gently just for you. Story 57, The Tree That Dreamed of Walking. Inspired by quiet wishes, rooted wisdom, and the courage to try something new. Hey, little dreamer, tonight we're going somewhere magical. You follow a path made of pine needles and moonlight. It winds through a forest that hums not with animals or wind, but with listening. Every branch seems to lean in, every leaf stirs when you breathe. At the very heart of the forest stands a tree, not the tallest, not the brightest, but somehow different. You don't know why until you get close and hear it whisper, "I want to walk." It doesn't speak with a mouth. It speaks with feeling, a hush in the bark, a tug in the roots, a flutter in the leaves. You place a hand on its trunk. It's warm, alive, dreaming. The tree shudders gently. You're the first to listen. You whisper, "Why do you want to walk?" Its answer rustles in the branches. To see the world. To feel the wind from both sides. To find where I belong. You smile, and something inside you says, "Let's try." You gather things, not tools, not spells, kindness. You tell stories to the tree of places you've seen and places you imagine. You hum songs. You trace paths in the dirt. The tree begins to change. Roots shift. Bark ripples. Not fast, not loud, but certain. One morning, or maybe it's night, the tree sways, then lifts a root. Just one. Like a toe dipped into a lake. It laughs. The sound is like wind playing with chimes. You guide the tree, not with pulling, with presence, step by step, root by root. You pass a brook that murmurs encouragement, a hill that nods respectfully, a thicket that makes room without being asked. The forest watches and smiles. Some paths are tricky. The tree stumbles. Once it tries to rush and trips. Its branches droop. "I can't," it says. You sit beside it and wait, not with answers, with quiet. After a while, the tree lifts again, not because you told it to, because it chose to. That night, you camp beneath its limbs. The stars peek through its leaves, and for the first time, the tree dreams of walking not alone. Eventually, you reach a meadow, wide, still, open. The tree stops. Its roots dip into new soil. It hums. "This is it," says, not the end, but a pause. You ask, will you keep walking? Sometimes the tree says, "But I've learned I don't need to move to grow." You hug its trunk. It hugs back gently, rustling its leaves around you. Before you go, it gives you a seed. For when you need to take root, you tuck it into your pocket. It pulses softly, like a heartbeat, like belonging. Back in your bed, you feel it, not the seed. The tree, still humming, still learning, still becoming, just like you. Story 58, The Feather That Waited to Fall. Inspired by patience, quiet courage, and the beauty of knowing when it's time. Hey, little dreamer, tonight we're going somewhere magical. High above the clouds in a nest woven from wishes and sky threads lies a single feather. It doesn't belong to a bird anymore. It's not part of a wing. It rests at the very edge where wind hums lullabies and sunlight naps in soft curls. This feather is waiting, and you are the one who finds it. You don't know how you got there. You were just dreaming, or thinking, or maybe wondering how it feels to float. But now you're standing on the cloud beside the nest. The feather glows faintly silver and soft, like moonlight caught in silk. You reach for it, and it stirs, not away, toward you. It whispers, "I'm not afraid to fall. I'm just waiting to know when." You nod, You understand more than you expected to. You sit beside the nest, the cloud beneath you shifts like breath, and the feather tells its story. I once belonged to a great bird, it says. She soared across oceans and sang with the wind. I held her steady, but now the feather continues. Her flying days are done, and I'm still here. I don't want to be left behind. I want to find where I belong next. You ask, what's stopping you? The feather flutters gently. Choice. You talk for a long time, not always with words, sometimes with silence, sometimes with matching sighs. And slowly, the feather begins to glow brighter. You realize it's not just a feather, it's a wish, not made in haste, not shouted at stars, a wish that waited, that listened, that trusted time. Below the world stretches, not in maps or cities, in moments. You see, a child holding out their hand to catch a falling leaf, a painter waiting for the wind to still before beginning a stroke, a girl on a rooftop whispering, please send me a sign. The feather leans toward the rooftop girl, not pulled, drawn. I think I'm ready, it says. You both stand. You lift the feather high. It quivers once, twice, then lets go. Not in panic, in peace. It drifts, not straight, not fast. Like a song sung slowly, word by word. You follow it with your heart, and when it lands, the girl gasps, smiles, clutches it gently, and looks up. You wave she can't see, but you wave anyway, because it matters. You return to the nest, now empty, but not lonely, and find tucked beneath where the feather had rested a single thread of sky. You take it, wrap it around your wrist. It hums softly. A reminder that not all falling means loss. Sometimes it means finding. You wake in your bed. The wind outside rustles gently, not rushing, not calling, just waiting. Like something wonderful is about to begin. And you're ready for it. Story 59. The Quilt Made of Lost Things. Inspired by gentle memories, found comfort, and the warmth of what we carry with us. Hey, little dreamer, tonight we're going somewhere magical. Tonight the air smells like cinnamon and rain. You follow a trail of buttons, little ones, big ones, shiny, scuffed, heart-shaped, scattered across the floor of your dream. They lead to a cottage that leans just slightly to the left. It hums, softly, like a song sung with a smile and a full belly. You push the door open. Inside it's warm. There are shelves filled with mittens that don't match ribbons, without bows and keys, with no locks. In the center of the room is a quilt. It's enormous, and it's glowing. Each patch is stitched from something lost. A quiet voice greets you. Welcome, it says. We've been waiting. You turn. A person stands beside the quilt. Their apron is covered in thread. Their fingers glow faintly from the inside out. Their eyes look like they've seen every kind of goodbye. I'm the quilt keeper, they say, and this is the blanket of lost things. You walk closer. Each patch shimmers with its own kind of story. A marble once dropped under a porch, a friendship bracelet buried in a sandbox, a sock from a favorite pair, even things that don't look like things at all. You reach out to touch a patch. It hums. That one, the keeper says, came from a laugh that was never heard. You blink. You can lose a laugh. The keeper nods. You can lose anything, and that's why we gather. They hand you a needle and thread. But tonight, you're not here to lose. You're here to remember. You sit beside the quilt. It stretches as far as your imagination. You close your eyes and begin to stitch. Not with fabric, with feelings. You sew in. the crayon you once tucked behind your ear and never found again, the secret you told the wind when no one else would listen, the dance you never finished because the music stopped too soon. Each stitch glows, each patch settles in place, the quilt becomes warmer, not in temperature, in meaning. The keeper watches, they nod. Beautiful, they whisper. Some of the most important things aren't really lost, just waiting to be remembered. They show you a patch near the edge. It's soft blue, threadbare. You touch it, it hums your name, not out loud, inside. This one, it's made of something you forgot you needed. The feeling of being held without needing to explain. You press your palm to it and breathe. Before you leave, the keeper gives you a square of the quilt. You'll need it, they say, for the nights that feel colder than they should. It folds perfectly into your hand, no bigger than a handkerchief. But when you hold it, you feel whole. You return to your room. The buttons are gone. But on your blanket beside your pillow rests a single patch, the same soft blue. You press it to your chest. It warms you like a hug from something you didn't know you missed. And as you drift into sleep, you smile, because now you know some things aren't truly lost. They're just stitched into the quiet places inside you, waiting. Story 60, The Lantern That Carried the Shadows, inspired by gentle bravery, quiet light, and the beauty of accepting every part of ourselves. Hey, little dreamer, tonight we're going somewhere magical. It begins in a quiet market square just after dusk. Stalls are closed. The cobblestones are still warm from the sun, and only one light glows, a lantern, not hanging, not fixed, walking. It floats gently down the path, bobbing like it's humming a song only it can hear. You follow, because of course you do. The lantern moves without hurry. It pauses beside a fountain, beside a sleeping cat, beside a stone, with a single word carved into it. Look, you do. And behind the lantern, you see it. A shadow, but not your own. The lantern's. It flickers as you approach, then turns slightly like it sees you. You expect it to be cold. It's warm. You expect it to be heavy. It's light. You expect it to speak. It doesn't. It waits. Beside it, the shadow moves, slowly, shyly. You step forward, and suddenly, your own shadow joins it. They touch, then twine together like ribbons in wind. The lantern hums and finally speaks. I carry what others leave behind. You blink. Shadows, not just shapes, it says. Feelings, the parts people hide. You nod slowly. The scared parts, yes. The tired parts, yes. The parts that cry when no one's watching. The lantern glows brighter, especially those. You sit beside it on a bench that didn't exist until now. The lantern floats in place. The shadows dance slowly, not menacing, not sharp, just present. You watch them and notice something. One shadow has a curl just like your hair. Another tilts its head the way you do when you're trying to understand something hard. They're not strangers. They're you, the parts of you you don't always show. The lantern speaks again. I'm not here to erase them, only to hold them until you're ready. You whisper, ready for what to walk with them. You look down. The shadows pause, then one of them offers you its hand. Not scary, not demanding, just open. You take it, and it fits perfectly. The lantern begins to move again. You follow. This time the shadows stay beside you. They don't pull, they don't hide, they glow. Just a little, like candlelight behind soft fabric. You walk through a quiet garden. You pass a flower that blooms only when someone forgives themselves. A stone that remembers every promise whispered into the night. A tree that bends low to make room for small wonders. And everywhere the lantern's shadow walks too, not behind, beside, always. You reach a small bridge over still water. The lantern floats to the center. It looks at you not with eyes, but with warmth. Then it speaks one last time. Carry what you are, not just the light, the whole sky inside you. It floats upward, gently, softly, until it becomes another star. Your shadow remains, but it feels different now. Not something to avoid, something to honor. Back in your room, the air feels still. You look to the window, and there, hanging from a tiny hook you don't remember placing, is a lantern. No flame, just glow. Inside it, your shadow, curled gently like it's sleeping, safe, seen. And when you close your eyes, you do not feel alone. You feel whole.